miracle of food is it's an anti-inflammatory. It's vegan, gluten-free, 100% natural, fresh from nature, organic. Get your miracle food today. Get your miracle food today. Miracle food, suitable for all ages. It's the perfect quarantine reboot.
Sorry, y'all. So when you are living your life as a star, right? That's a whole set of different rules. That's a whole set of different principles. But when you're trying to grow into the anomaly of a bigger and better star, you want to be a bigger and better nova, right? Then what happens? So let's say if this planet is housing 8 billion stars on surface, we're not even talking about the stars that are inside the planet. So this is the microcosm. This is the macrocosm, microcosm, macrocosm, mimicking microcosm, mimicking the macrocosm, feeding it back up to the motherboard, the overall source, great grand holy mother, universal motherboard. Okay, so where does the concept of the 7 deadly sins come from? This concept of the 7 deadly sins come from the 7 chakras. If you are out of tune, your 7 sins, okay, your 7 sins are literally the chakras. All right, those seven deadly sins, those are the chakras. The 7 deadly sins. Those are when the chakras are out, the 7 major chakras are out of balance and you're living in sin. This is the whole purpose. Tell them again, Michelle, LLC. That's why you need to activate our magic. So they call our chakras evil. But evil spelled backwards is live. Look at this live. L-I-V-E. Spelled backwards is evil. Nothing is wrong with evil. Evil is showing you that you need to activate your chakras. Without evil in the world, you think you'll just have it made. If evil wasn't showing you that you don't have it made, your ass would just think you was already activated. You'll think your chakras was just already aligned. You think your chakras was just already in place simply because you don't go through nothing if you're born. When you're born and your shit is already in place, you ain't gonna go through nothing. But since evil is in your world, since evil is testing you, challenging you, putting you through the rigorous trials and tribulations of graduation into ascension, now you're able to appreciate L-I-V-E because E-V-I-L shows you what life would be like without L-I-V-E. What life would be like without L-I-V-E? E-V-I-L shows you that. You feel me? Think about that one more time. I repeat it again. Just so you can get it. If it weren't for E-V-I-L, you would not know how to L-I-V-E. E-V-I-L is the reason why you appreciate L-I-V-E. I repeat, E-V-I-L is the reason why you appreciate L-I-V-E. Without E-V-I-L, your L-I-V-E would be completely and utterly useless and shitty.
So we need both of them to operate?
Think about it. It's called, don't you need both ends of the battery to operate?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I need the positive end of my battery and the negative end of my battery both to equal a full charge, then that is safe to say good and evil are working together. I keep on telling people that. Stop thinking that good and evil not working together. No, literally. Like on Harry Potter, when the Council of Magic sits down and you got the evil side right here and you got the light side or the good side right there, and they're all deciding on what they're going to let the muggles know or not know as it pertains to magic and sorcery. Go look at Harry Potter. the evil magic practice, the evil dark magical practitioners sit on the right side with their dark garb on and all of this type of stuff. The good light magician practitioners, they sit on the left side, right? And they are got their little colorful or positive frequency garb on, and they're both sitting at the table arguing like Congress back and forth on what they are going to or what they are not going to let the average human being know or not know about magic. Y'all can recall that they call that in real life, they call that the Council of Nicaea. When the Christian magicians sat down with the pagan magicians and fused paganism and Christianity together, and that's why Christianity worships on Sunday. This is why after the prayer you say amen to commemorate the sun. This is why Jesus is the Son of God and the Son of Man. That's Hercules, half man, half God. So this is why he's the Son of God and the Son of Man, because he is half man, half God, like Hercules. Okay, and his name is Jesus, Jesus.
That makes
Hercules'
sense.
his father.
I never thought about
Hercules' father
and Jesus' connection.
Hercules and Jesus are one and the same. Half man, half God. That went through 12. Look, Hercules went through 12 tests from 12 tests of the gods. Jesus had 12 disciples. Hercules was super mighty, powerful, strong, right? Jesus had superhuman capabilities like turning water into wine and raising himself from the dead, right? And the only contrast is that Hercules had a beef with his father versus Jesus came in the name and of his father. And all of that's borrowed from African spirituality. So if you want to really be technical, you're talking about an African story that turned into Jesus, an African story that turned into Zeus, an African story that turned into Hercules and all of these other names. So I always go to the earliest term for it. And when you go to the earliest term for it, you're going to find that the earliest term for it is not Satan and all of these other names. The earliest term for it can still be found in Satanism right now, like Set. You can find that in all kinds of magical books right now. You can Google the Temple of Set. The Temple of Set is the ancient Set is the ancient name for the god you like to call Yahweh. I repeat again, Set is the ancient name for the god you like to call Yahweh. It morphed from Set to Sa to Yah. Okay? So we have to understand that these things took time to get to where they're at right now, but there are old-time religions, old-time craftings, old-time ancient energies, and these energies, every single one of them, can be embodied by the human, meaning the human can use these energies for good or evil, meaning the energy of Set, aka the first murderer. I'm a righteous person, and I can use the energy of Set to murder human traffickers, to murder pedophiles, to murder Satanists, to murder rapists, to murder necrophiliacs. That is the energy of Set. When I do a magical spell and a motherfucking a pedophile get life in jail, that was me tapping into that Satan magic right there. Y'all don't understand that it's never the gun; it is the person using the gun.
Yeah, that's true. I was saying that. I said
military. Come on,
use a pencil to write and use a pencil to stab.
Right. You can use a pencil to write, or you can use a pencil to stab somebody in their fucking eye.
Yeah, real quick.
Easy. You can use a protractor. You can use a protractor to measure, right? Or you can use a protractor to stab somebody.
Blade. Turn to a blade real quick.
Turn to a blade real quick. So that's the as above, so below duality of the life that we live in. We live in a world where the good can be bad and bad can be good, depending on how you use it. Too much, you eat too much lettuce, that's going to be bad. You drink too much water, that's going to be bad.
Hell, y'all try to clean my system in one night.
And water is good for you, but if you drink too much, that's going to be bad. You're going to drown.
Hell yeah, I almost died drinking a lot of water one night.
So, man, bro, we used to gamble. We used to gamble in jail, and water used to be the wager. Like, if you lost, you got to drink water.
Oh, shit.
Boy, niggas used to be drunk. Niggas used to be drunk, throwing up, full of that water. Ooh. I never knew water could get you drunk until I drunk too much water.
Water get you fucked up. You drink too much.
Water get you fucked up. Drink too much. Drink, go crazy and chug-a-lug some fucking too much water if you want, nigga. You gonna be woozy as hell.
I was sick. I was like, what the hell? This is not my early stage of learning how to. I'm about to teach you how to clean your piss in 3 days class. But my earlier days when I first started learning how to do it, man, I almost died. Trial and error. But another question though. Another question. So I was the topic you talk about the two energies. I came up with that before even studying. A lot of stuff I talk about was just me just thinking a lot. And then
remember, hold up. So remember, that's not you just thinking a lot. You are a God.
Right.
Inside of you are the codes and knowledge to all.
Mm-hmm.
Soon in the Bible, as soon as you start doing those riddles in the Bible, seeking ye shall find. Knocking the door shall be open. Asking it shall be given unto thee. So these things that you were intuitively feeling was just your natural heritage as God. You automatically know these things because God lives inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
You are God. God is you. You can't escape the two. So when you start having those thinking, you was really just remembering.
Hey, you saying I'm a God, man. I posted a God on my channel the other day in the community. It's the God of air. His name was Enlil. He looked just like me, bro. He got the same cheekbones, the eyes. I said, bro, I'm the reincarnation of Enlil.
Bro, think about it. Think about it, bro. How can we give these gods these principles? You can't say God is omnipresent, but he's omnipresent, but he doesn't live in the Satanist. God is omnipresent, but he doesn't live in the baby killer.
Yeah.
Nah, nigga, God is the baby killer and the baby that's getting killed, nigga. That's omnipresence. God has multiple personality disorder. You just one of the personalities.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So if you're going to claim omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience to these gods, you have to accredit for the fact that you can be the God Enlil, and Enlil in an omnipresent form can be existing in China. Enlil in an omnipresent form can be existing simultaneously in Australia and on every continent. There can be another version of Enlil playing out his godly programming on the timeline, and Dwayne McClain is just one of the representations of the omnipresent Enlil. And
right.
Chakra Doctor is just one of the representations of the omnipresent Inky, right? And so when you look at all of these things, we give these beings these superhuman capabilities, but as soon as it's time to say, okay, and actually break them down and describe what these superhuman capabilities can do, we say it's not possible. I'm sorry, keep going though. You've been thinking about this. You've been thinking about.
Oh yeah. So that came from my head, like, and I was thinking the other day. I'm like, so I said in one of my videos, I said the guys who run the world were here to do this. They was evil. Basically, has their characters, and good actually had their characters. You know, the energies you're talking about, they had people here now born here just to serve that energy. They were born to do this. This is who they is. Like the Kim Jong-un dude. The energies that they made him do that, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna work for that part. So how does that correlate to like to society we in now?
So
no people born to do this stuff.
Okay, so remember, born is just a temporary state of being. If you want to learn certain godly attributes, you're going to have to go live a certain type of life. If you want to learn the godly attribute of wrath, you can't live a life of rainbows and butterflies and know what the godly attribute of wrath is truly like. You got to go live a life that invokes wrath within you, right? If you want to know the godly attribute of punishment, you can't live a life where you're not getting punished. You got to go live a life where you get punished so you can know how to retribute and exact punishment. Just like the cop that gets the taser, he gets tasered before they give him a taser so they can know how it feels to taser somebody. You ain't about to just go around taser happy, tasing motherfuckers, and you know how that shit feels. You get hit with the taser first, right? So that's the same thing when it comes to learning certain attributes. Sometimes, and I call that light year travel as well, right? So let's say, light year, people don't understand how light years travel, how light years and speed and all of these things go, but we're about to show you right now. If we're living in the star. Let's say we're living in the sun. Our highest version of ourselves, we're living in the sun, right? Man, I don't feel like going on Earth and play the game. I feel like going to the constellation of Scorpio and play the game. I feel like going to the constellation of Scorpio and play the game. How long is it gonna take? Siri, how long is it gonna take me to get to Scorpio? Approximately 23.5 light years. Okay, I'm about to go incarnate into a human and live 23.5 years and die, and that's gonna bring me to Scorpio. Because I'm light. Remember, when I incarnate into this body, isn't this light inside of this body? Every year you live is a light year, my nigga. Every year you live is light that has lived a goddamn year. So if it took only 5 years to get from this constellation to that constellation, or this solar system to that solar system, then, and I incarnate as a 5-year-old, I incarnate to die as a 5-year-old, and you're talking about, oh, he died before his time. No, motherfucker, he came, all he had to do was go from here to the motherfucking next solar system. It took 5 light years to get there. That was it. So he had to come live as a light being for 5 years. His 5 years was up. He traveled through the death doorway. He made it to Scorpio. 5 light years accomplished. Bro.
You said 5 years made me think. Okay, so you're saying a 5-year-old died, right? In 5 years.
So I'm saying, so when you see 5-year-old dies or a 6-year-old dies, and you automatically think, oh, the world is just cruel because children are dying. You have to account for the fact that you have to account for the fact of something that's called light year travel. Okay? You guys wonder how we travel from star to star system, galaxy to galaxy, universe to universe, and how we do it so fast. How they say, oh, it'll take 5,000 billion trillion years to get to this particular solar system, or this, that, or the third, right? Well, we've found a way, as immortal, infinite beings, we've found a way to ease that travel, or to speed up that travel. That travel is called death. Okay? Death is the doorway to different portals of eternal life. So, if I'm a being of light and I know not time, the only way light can actually live or travel a year is by going incarnate into the realm of time. Because in actuality, I'm immortal, I'm infinite, and time doesn't know me. I know not time. I'm not affected by it. So in order for me to travel and it to be measured, I gotta incarnate into a space that allows the measurement of time. Now in comes light year travel. So let's say I'm living inside of the sun, because the name of our sun is called Soul. So I'm living inside of Soul. I'm kicking it inside of Soul. Man, I just lived a kick-ass Aries. I just traveled to the constellation of Aries and back and woo, and I lived a kick-ass fucking Aries life, and I'm back at Soul. Now I'm ready to do some more traveling, right? Let's say I want to go to the constellation. I'm gonna go holler at my nigga Dwayne McClain. He was putting it down for the war at the Arcade Center on Earth 1, right? My man Dwayne, he live on Earth 10. That's a whole nother dimension. I'm about to go holler at Dwayne McClain on Earth 10. How you gonna holler at Dwayne McClain on Earth 10 and you the fucking sun, you the sun, and you live inside this sun. You live inside of this light essence. Well, I'm going to travel through the portal of Earth 1 or Earth 2 or whatever Earth planet you're on, right? Or whatever that surrounds that sun. I'm gonna light year travel to Dwayne through the doorway of death. So now, as a light being, I literally hop into my little light machine. My light machine condenses my consciousness into form. Remember, I'm without form. I'm light. I don't have no form. I'm everywhere. I'm omnipotent, omnipresent, all of this shit. But I'm about to go travel all the way to constellation Capricorn. I'm gonna need me some luggage. I'm gonna need some travel provisions. Okay? And what is going to be, while I'm traveling to fucking Capricorn, right? What's going to be my entertainment? What I'm going to be reading? What I'm going to be, just put yourself in that frame. What I'm going to be reading, goddamn, this shit going to take 83 light years to travel from here to Capricorn. I got to go live a life. I got to go live a life as a trucker and die at 83 just to make it to Dwayne.
But I got some of the jokes in my head. You talking about? Cause you talking about these stars coming down here, and I'm thinking like, damn, why I gotta be so goddamn gruesome? And I'm thinking like, do they pick for straws? to pick the life? Like, damn, I came here as a fat ugly motherfucker.
That's what it is.
You don't know that.
Nigga, look at the stars up. Nigga, look at nigga inside the star playing rock, paper, scissors. Hold on, bitch. Hold on. Rock, paper. Who gonna get what life? Rock, paper, scissors. They doing rock, paper, scissors, man. Look at my last life. I was famous. Look at my last life. I died and I lived and I traveled to such and such. I did what I had to do. You know what I mean? Like I could just see higher esoteric beings like, nope, I'm not about to go live on no fucking earth. I'm not about to go live on no fucking earth. I did that shit already. I passed all my tests. I don't need to fucking go live on the earth, but earth needs you, man. Fuck earth. I'm about to go. I'm about to go where the grass is greener in constellation Ursa Major or some fucking where.
Right.
You feel me? Like
so
I can see.
Go ahead. What you say?
I can see that. I can see that type of interaction going on in the higher upper rooms. Like, hey, like I look at me and Dwayne chilling in the soul. We chilling in the star. Dwayne, bro, you know, I'm about to go kick it on Earth, bitch. You wanna come kick it on Earth with me? You heard me?
Hell yeah.
Man, I'm not fucking with no Earth, boy. I'm not about to, man. I'm gonna
come on, man. It's just Earth, man.
That's Earth, man. We're gonna be able to eat hamburgers. Man. We're gonna be able to eat hot. We're gonna be able to. Yeah, we're gonna be able to get pussy. We're gonna be able to be physical. We're gonna be able to feel pain and shit.
Man, I bet you the one homie like, bro, I always go to Earth, nigga. I'm ready to go back.
I make it a point to go to Earth every month, nigga. Because you know, in a month in the spirit world is like thousands and thousands and thousands and millions, whatever years in the physical world. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like one day in the spirit world is 1,000 days. One day, right, in the spirit world is 1,000 years on Earth. One day in the spirit world is 1,000 years on Earth. So nigga like, man, I like to go to Earth every month. Right?
So, do you think this right here, like, say people who seem like they were meant to be friends, do you think like you bump into these people? I think everything happens for a reason. So when God's come down here, right, I'm pretty sure we all don't know which one we is, right, which God we is, but we know things just happen naturally.
Inside of your DNA, your cells and shit. No, we just got to relearn it. That's what we signed up for. We signed up to come relearn ourselves so that we can learn something new. Because, quite frankly, it can get bored being a God, man. Just having all the power. You got all the power. You can do anything instantaneously. The only thrill you would have is going somewhere and not having power.
Mm-hmm.
Being powerless.
That happens here on Earth. That happens here on Earth.
Yeah, think about it. When you incarnate on Earth, you come in as a baby. You're powerless. You don't got no control over it. You're powerless. Now you're able to actually get a genuine gaming experience, a genuine learning experience as a God in a human body because you signed your soul contract. You signed up to forget. You signed up to go incarnate and lower your frequency and condense it into a physical vessel. And that physical vessel, you inside of that physical vessel must learn the challenges and obstacles of the physical vessel in order to grow and rise and become a better God, right? Some guys need to learn compassion. So a God might got to come down here and live a life that teaches compassion. Some guys got to learn what it's like to be empathetic, more empathetic, because they rule too hard and they too much wrath with them. So they got to come learn and learn to live a life of empathy. Some guys got to come and live and learn to be humble. Some guys there ain't no hope for. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna stay. Bitches, it's evil gang all day, bitch, and those are called the dark gods. The guys where you got to sacrifice children and all this type of shit, and they love, and they incarnate just so they can live a life of debauchery, just so they can live a life where they know they're gonna die suffering and help everybody else suffer. They got guys that's about all that business, right? Because when you're immortal and you don't die, what are you afraid of? I'm immortal. I don't really fucking die. Even if I appear to die on Earth, I really don't fucking die. So what am I really afraid of? Nothing.
They don't feel nothing.
I don't feel shit. So I could just come and live, fucking die, and I'm gonna be back to my normal self in a minute.
Who made this game? Like, not to say a game, but this system we in, like where the gods come here. Like, so if Earth is on God, so is gods living on gods, which is like I said, there's levels to it.
Right.
So who made the system? Like, or is this?
So now you're talking about now you're talking Now you're talking about, you're talking about ancient creator gods, right? They got gods that every god isn't ancient. They got new, just like they got new babies that born, they got new gods that's born. A star, remember, you said a star is born. So if stars are immortal beings that can be born, then we know they got old stars and they got young stars, right? So we know that when it comes to the game we call the physical temporary life, that game was invented by none other than the ancient being you like to call Ra. In today's term, Ra is called Lucifer.
Bringer of light. Do we all the light, right?
Light bringer, the bringer of light. And so when you talk about Ra, this is why you got a complex in your brain called the R complex, Ra, right? This is why if I take my brain and I cut it open and I turn it to the side, it's gonna look like an R, right? This is why our eye sockets look like R's. Our eye sockets look like R's in our eye sockets, right? RSTLNE. Those are the most common most common letters used, and R is probably the number one after I, right? After the vowels and stuff. I, A, E, I, O, U. R is like the most used letter after the vowels. So when you look at our heritage of chakras, right? That is our heritage as the children or the progeny of the creator God you like to call Ra, the sun in our sky, right? And so think about this. When you think about this, I keep telling people, think about living inside of a star. If billions of people were able to live on a planet, I'm pretty sure trillions and infinite. I'm pretty sure an infinite amount of beings can live in a star because it allows for no physicality. Meaning, when you look at a star in the sky and how that star is warming our planet up, that is just the vibration from the actual star that is warming our planet up. But that star is not right next to the goddamn planet, emitting heat, or the planet couldn't survive because it's too fucking hot. Right?
So they move. They alive and moving that much, that makes the heat.
Well, number one, when you're talking about all movement creates heat, so it got to be the alignments and the movements that is creating the heat, because heat is created when action is abroad. So much action and friction can get into a heat and create what one might call an explosion or a bomb, and this is where the Big Bang comes in there, right? So yes, heat is the byproduct of activity. So if you're analyzing a star, all stars have particular planets that they govern, or that looks to them for substance or life, right? And every planet has minuscule life or minute life that looks to it for life. Mm-hmm. See how that go? So you got higher existences living inside of stars that are able to incarnate and lower themselves into planetary life existences. And then they got planetary life existences that live on and inside the planet that can incarnate and travel back into the portal and live their life as a star. Because if you look inside of the Earth has a star inside of her. It is literally called the Earth Star Chakra. So Earth has a star inside of her, aka a soul. That's why the Earth is a living, feeling, breathing, thinking entity, because it has a soul, right? And that means it has emotions, feelings, and all of the things that it went through in order to become Earth. I don't know what it had to go through to become Earth. I don't know if it started as a little small and mobile and then went through life cycles and graduated into Earth. But I do know that it has a soul, and in order for it to have a soul, it has to have chakras. And if you got chakras, that means you're a child of the sun. You're a child of the infinite immortal. So every sun you see in the sky, every star you see in the sky is an actual representation of the omnipresent, omnipotent, and omnipotent ancient God you like to call Ra, the sun, Lucifer, right? And so people don't understand this, so they mispersonify these beings, or they mispersonify these names, because Lucifer is actually not a name. Lucifer is a title, bringer of light. Anybody can bring some motherfucking light, which means anybody could be a Satan, Anybody could be a Lucifer. Anybody could be a Christ. Christ means anointed one. Anybody could bring that fucking anointing from the Creator and put it down for Team Positive and make it look good, swell, well, and great. Right? So we are mispersonifying titles and giving these titles actual proper noun God being attributes when that is far from the truth. These are actual frequencies that all God beings can tap into and be or not to be whenever they choose to be or not to be it. You feel me?
I mean, that's kind of the way I was thinking of it. Like when we come here, we just kind of not forget, but it's just, is it a game?
No, we sign up to forget.
Mm.
We sign up to forget. If you came here knowing everything, I'm pretty sure you would have been made Dwayne McClain TV, because you already knew Dwayne McClain TV was supposed to be popping because you came here living already knowing it.
Right. So they sign up to forget.
You would have made Dwayne McClain TV as soon as Sergey Brin came out with YouTube.
Mm. True.
Right? But since you didn't know, you had to go through what you had to go through in order to earn Dwayne McClain TV. And now you understand what it's like and what it takes to build a platform.
What are the chickens that's made at the chicken plant? Like, you know, them chickens, they breed them chickens in one day. Or do those have so? Like, you know, we say we can come down here and incarnate as anything. Anything.
Well, remember, and I implore people, I always tell people, just how we were created, the creator or the creators that created us endowed us with the ability to create. And when you endow and when you create something, you can't account for what that something is going to do or how that something is going to evolve, because it's now up to that something to decide what it's going to be. So one day, what if the chickens decide to evolve and say, we don't want to be in a coop no more? We refuse to be your slaves and we refuse to let you eat us. What if chickens rose against farmers? Will we still eat chickens in the chicken coop? No. We'll think chicken was crazy and we don't eat chickens no more because this motherfuckers rose up and now I'll fuck them chickens. We don't eat chickens no more. Chickens went out of business because chickens
all over the world.
See, so will chickens one day wake up and realize that they're being slaughtered, and one day say, "Fuck that shit. We just gonna go crazy, shit all over the place. We're not gonna be docile. We're gonna bite. We're gonna peck. We're gonna do everything and pass that shit on to our children until they either kill us all off or let us all free. One of the two gonna happen. They're gonna kill us all off and turn us into some fucking Tyson's chicken dinners, or they're gonna let us all free because we spazzing out as chickens."
We ain't going out like this, man. Fuck this plant.
It's the reason why black people like chickens so fucking much, man.
When you get out the cage, Jimmy, you pluck his eye out. We getting out of here.
Fuck this shit. You feel me? But think about that. That's every movement started like that. They were in a certain predicament of oppression, and they got tired of that oppression and rose up against that oppression, and either that oppression completely destroyed them and wiped them out, or they rose above it and started their own something new. Like,
this is crazy. So do guys come in and you said it one time. You said that everything you can come at with kind of anything. So an ant on the ground. You said a moth might fly in the room. That's a guy or something.
Man, listen.
Stop testing me.
Think about this, bro. You look at X-Men, and you go look at the powers of that being on X-Men called Mystique.
Mm-hmm.
She had the ability to turn into any human being that she wanted to. She could look identical to any human being that she wanted to. So much so that they replaced the president. They used her to replace the president. This is where that cloning shit and that replacement shit come in at. They show you this on the movies. They do be replacing people, but they don't replace them with clones because it's too hard. They don't have the technology. They don't have the know-how. They're too stupid. They don't know how to do it yet. They definitely don't know how to clone black people. That's just a fucking facade. But I'm going to show you what they do know how to do. They know how to take your skin, the melanin from your skin, and they know how to take it and put it in a machine, and they know how to recreate your skin and your facial structure and everything to a T. And so much so that a person can take your skin. I can take a Dwayne McClain fucking mask, put it on, and come on this bitch, and I swear to God, bro, we can go to bro, I swear, I lived in Cali, bro. I seen it already happen, bro. I seen it.
I'm the clone right now. I got the mask on right now.
I'm trying to, listen, bro. Nigga could take, you got too much of the voice, you got too much of the characteristic. I don't think you the mask right now, but I can take the Dwayne McClain. Now I have to practice on your voice, and I have to practice on your swag. But I can come on this bitch without speaking, right? And have me a fucking, have me a little electronic monitor, right? Electronic pad. Like my voice went out. The Illuminati tried to kill. The Illuminati tried to kill me. I come with some shit on my neck, like somebody shot me in the neck, and I got my Dwayne McClain mask on, right? And I come with a little board like, man, Illuminati tried to assassinate me, shot me in the neck. I lost my voice, and motherfucker be like, man, Dwayne McClain lost his voice. I seen him on his own channel. He was going off on his own channel. He lost his voice. He was talking with a fucking pad. He was talking with a pad. He can't talk, y'all. He was talking with a pad.
You saying that's not the clone? Not the
and
clone.
Now look, and guess what? And now you've been replaced. So that's one way they replace. They replace like that. Another way they replace is with your doppelganger lookalikes. Everybody. The reason why they take your DNA and survey your DNA because they put your DNA to match other people's DNA to see if they can find your doppelganger, the person that looks just like you. You ever met somebody be like, you look just like my friend, oh such and such. You look just like woo, right? Because they got that dude out that's out right now. He looked like G Herbo saying fuck G Herbo. This nigga look identical to G Herbo. You like, man, that gotta be G Herbo. No, you hear this nigga talk? That's a whole nother nigga. He saying fuck G Herbo. We gonna kill him when we see him. He from Chicago or some shit. I forgot where he from. Right?
I'm my clone, man. I met a lady at the rim shop. Her son looked just like me.
Bruh. And y'all think that shit is a game. Look at Darren Wells. I'm gonna tell. It's a crazy he said 100 because Dr. Wells is the guy on the TV show The Flash, and on the Flash explains to you this shit to you to a T about your doppelgangers and infinite Earth realms that exist in infinite dimensions, and there's a version of you that exists on every dimension, living his life out independently. And the main you, which is on Earth 1, remember they call this Earth that we live on, they call this Earth 1, the original prototype. With all the other Earths and all of the other planets, the reason why Earth is so special. So let me give y'all some history right quick. And so the reason why Earth is so special, not why Jupiter and all of these other things, but the reason why Earth is so special, right, is because Earth is the first prototypical planet, prototypical goddess planet that can house multiple infinite life forms. Everything can't live on Jupiter, but everything can live on Earth. Everything can't live on Mars, but everything can live on Earth. Everything can't live everywhere else, but everything can live on Earth. This is why Earth is the most important, structured, godlike goddess planet, okay? Because it can house infinite. So you're talking about the Flash, the guy on the Flash who gives Flash his powers, his name is Dr. Harrison G. Wells. And his last name is Wells right here. And so I'm showing you how the game confirms certain truths when you start to talk about them and probe, and seeking ye shall find, knocking the door shall be open, asking it shall be given unto thee, and the physical world will correlate and say, yep, you're on the right path. Why? Look, because that nigga Darren Wells just said 100, and we just talking about doppelgangers, and the main TV show you can go look at doppelgangers is on The Flash.
Hey, man, the funny thing is, I'm talking about speaking stuff up. I was driving one day, coming up with content, and I put it on my community on YouTube.
Nephilim, I seen it.
Yeah. That shit pulled up right as soon as I started thinking about how they
seen it. I said, look, look what I said to myself. He's finally beginning to understand how microscopic the game really is. You actually thought that was just a license plate that said Nephilim and not the actual Nephilim, the being riding around in his fucking car, and he said, hey, I'm a fucking Nephilim. It's that, bro. No, bro. The reason why it's
all
that
that
simple,
stuff
but
came
the
up.
reason why you don't understand it because he looks human. And the rules of this realm, the number one rule of Earth realm. This is why I don't never let them fool you with fantasy shit about the fucking Bigfoot walking through the tree. Don't let them fool you with that bullshit.
Right.
Because of one reason. In order for you to have sentient consciousness, meaning consciousness that is able to create, right? Consciousness that is able to create skyscrapers, build, that's creation, right? When you incarnate into this realm and exercise the right of sentient consciousness, you have to do it in the form of a human being. That's the law. So when you talk about these fantasies, the reason why you never see no definitive proof on camera or in real life of them, because they are just what that's just what they are. When they say Bigfoot, when they talk about Bigfoot, understand what they're talking about. They're talking about a species of creature that dwells within the woods of Earth that you just ain't never seen yet. But it ain't no fucking alien from no different planet, my nigga. It is simple shit. Remember, they tell you 75% of the Earth has not even been discovered.